Well, so the next is that I'm gonna seek for Hubei, which because all of these data is sorted by this confirmed cases, and that province always comes first. So I'm gonna search for that and use that as the starting point, row of the data. The next is that I'm gonna copy the raw dates to this array. This one is for the desk cases. I'm gonna copy this here, and then I'm gonna replace the original values with the standardized, the reporting type with the correct format. So these bunch of this block is dealing with the format of the date, because basically in VBA it is that you don't have a date time value. You have to do it separately. First you have the date value, and then you have the time value, and you put them together to have the date time value. So the next is that I'm going to check all those blank cells and assign 0 there. That is not necessary actually, but anyway, I did that. And then I'm going to deal with the desk case. I'm going to move this column to the column H and leave here as the zeros. So the way I arranged that is because earlier the reports were arranged in the order of like confirmed, and then suspected, and recovered, and death. So I'm going to follow the same order. Well, the next is I'm going to deal with those missing province or place cells. So basically I'm going to, if it is a missing case, then I'm going to go into this map and to look up the places or states from that table. So this part I'm going to use a function called the lookup place. So basically the lookup place is not only searching for the place, but it also is going to, like the first is that is going to look up the place. So if it find a place, like for example in this chart for Japan, it found that there is a Tokyo, so it's going to put Tokyo there. And this is because in the map there's already a corresponding province to this country. Well, if that place is not found, then it must be that the country is new. So the country, according to this block, the country is going to be added here. And that program is going to have a string to search for the Google. So it's going to put a hi link here and follow up that to open up the Chrome browser, and to put in the Google search URL to search for the capital of that country. So there you can also change the places. If, for example, like it is a new country, but it happens that the new cases are not in the capital, then you can take over there and find the new cases and find the GPS locations. So the program, so after this browsing and search, the program will be stopped there. It will be paused and ask you to input that province or state name that you decided to have to put it here. So you have this this name, and it will be put it here. And the next is that is going to search again. It's going to search Google for the GPS coordinates. And again, the GPS coordinates will be searched. Like for example, if I have, so basically it's going to search for the place and search for its GPS coordinates. And most probably in Google search is going to pop up a string like this. So then all I need to do is just to select the whole thing, including this northeast, and copy that. And then the program, after the search, is going to have an input box for me to enter that whole line of GPS coordinates. And then with this GPS coordinates, it's going to split that, and it's going to get the latitude and longitude part, and it's going to determine whether it is in south or north, it is in west or east, so that it's going to give assign the correct sign. For example, for the south or west, it is going to have a negative sign to the latitude or the longitude. So basically, that is the function to enter the new places and also to enter the GPS coordinates. Well, the exception of the cases is that it could be that a place and the country is given, but it is a new country and a new place that cannot be found in this map. And in that case, we're going to deal with that later in the program. So anyway, so to this step, it is good enough that we've filled up all of this blanks. We've dealt with the date and also the cases, and also we have put that in the right order. So we're going to have the whole range from this point to this. Remember, this H column is going to have the des cases. We're going to have that part as the whole range and save that into an array. And then we're going to jump to this all sheet, and then we're going to find the last row, and then we're going to copy the array of data there. This basically is going to be up to this column. So to this point, we've done with this raw data sheet. So it will be hidden, and the program will work on this all sheet. So now we have the data there, and the first thing is that it's going to look up according to the province and the country. It is going to look up the GPS coordinates and put it there. So that part will be done by the function called lookup GPS. So that lookup GPS is going to go to this map file and look up the country and the place names there. And if both of them are matched, then it's going to have the latitude and longitude from that table and return that. So if one of the things, like the country or the places, cannot be found, then it is going to put the country and the place as a new line of data here, and then it's going to open up the Google search again, and basically it's going to search for the place with the Google with the GPS coordinates. And then most probably we're going to have the line here. We just copy this line, and the program is going to pop up a input box again to allow us to input this coordinates, and it's gonna handle that again. It's gonna have the right sign, the latitude, the longitude, and then return that and put that into this row. And after that, it's gonna also put the found GPS into this all sheet and put it there. So that part is for the GPS coordinates. Okay, so with that, we're almost done. So for this raw data part, I'm going to leave it there because this one actually is for the previous records, because we've mentioned that for the previous records, I have my own reporting time, which is unique for one batch. But in the original raw data, it has different reporting time. I just keep it there. But starting from the points after that, I'm going to keep that raw data in individual sheets, like in this individual sheets. And on this all sheet, I'm not going to report it there. So anyway, so with that, the next other thing is that we are going to copy the contents in the cells, the corresponding cells, but this time we're going to wrap that with quotes, so that later when we produce that CSV file, we won't have trouble, even if the value itself, like in this case, it contains comma itself. So the program in this part is to copy and paste the values one by 1 into these columns. And finally, it is going to concatenate all the values together into a string, wrap that with a square bracket, and also add a comma at the end of the string. So this will make it a row in an array. So if we directly copy that and paste that into any of the JSON files, it would be part of the JSON file or data array. So this is what I call this is what I called the JSON string. So this is basically, this part is to deal with that, to add all of that together. Okay, so after that, to this point, we have arranged the data. We have those JSON strings, the newly added JSON strings, so we're gonna save the workbook at this point. And the next is that we're gonna read through all of the strings, starting from this time. It is not from the updated, only the updated data. Instead, it is going to start from the earliest data. So it's going to have the entire range of the data, and it is going to strip off those square brackets and also the trailing commas, so that now it becomes a line that is compatible with the CSV format. So we're going to add a line breaker at the end, so that it makes a perfect line for the CSV file. Finally, we're gonna connect all of these different lines together into a text, which is called a CSV text. And remember that for the end of the CSV text, there is a redundant line breaker. So we're going to delete that line breaker, which is pretty much the things doing here. And with that, we have all the proper text, and then we're going to write that into the target CSV file. So originally, there is already a CSV file, that MV data file, which is containing, which contains the previous data. So what we are going to do here is that we're going to delete this file and create a new one with the same name and write the contents. So this way we're going to sort of like overwriting the existing data. All right, so that's it. So in addition, I have two workaround macros. One is called the make CSV, and basically this part is that if we, for some reason, we want to do the CSV part individually, so we can run this called the make CSV. Basically, it's going to go into this sheet. It is going to start over again from the first row to the end, have all of these data, strip off the things and make the proper lines and put that into the CSV file. So this one is actually a workaround. So basically what I did is that I will have a manually inputted line to indicate the previous reports, because I really have this was down because I need to assign a consistent reporting time for the previous data. So basically what it did is that it's going to line up those values manually inputted to make a proper date and time value. I think that's it. And then based on that, it is where I'm going to rank that so that the table names are going to be in a chronicle order. But now I don't have to do it, because now the program is going to take care of it by